Yellow proxies, trailblazers, rovers, cadets, cheeky cons. I gathered you all here today because we need to talk about the current state of anime mobile gaming in 2025. I really got this idea that I need to go through this rant, actually just from a YouTube comment I read randomly. So I uploaded a video on my second channel called Why the HSR Fate Collab Will Fail. So I just kind of shit on Honkai Star Rail in a major way, and I see like a comment saying, pick a team, bro. And it kind of like made me realize that I've not really picked a team. I've been poo-pooing all three of the mainstream normie games non-stop lately, and it's throwing people off in a major way. And the thing is, I want to be on a team. Like, being on a team makes anime mobile games more exciting, because then the update live streams become, ooh, how did my team play tonight? Like, right now, I just don't care, but let's say, for example, I was on Team Zenless Zone Zero. Well then I would be like, wow guys, we played so good last live stream. We had our best player Doll Wei in, free 5-star proxy, like 5 more pulls than Wuthering Waves gave. This was a total ZZZ victory. So I do want to pick a team out of the like 3 normie gacha games, which is Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, and Honkai Star Rail. Now, when I pulled my general channel on what team I should pick, seems like majority voted Wuthering Waves, which I'm not at all surprised about. But the thing is, I feel like you need to subtract at least 10% from Woo here, since Woo image wins every poll forever online, since Wuthering Waves players are the most terminally online and insecure about what others think about their game being good or not. Like, we've done this in the past. We made troll polls with Wuthering Waves where I basically just negate the question and have Woo players vote against their interest. So that just kind of proves their thought process is, I like Woo, I want Woo to win poll, and they actually don't take the time to read the question. So I don't know how much points to subtract from Woo here, but really what is to blame is that the 3 normie games, Woo, HSR, and ZZZ, these 3 games are just all highly unimpressive, underwhelming, uninteresting, and unengaging. So first we got Hetero Waves, which is basically just a glorified reskin of Genshin Impact, but a more gamer version of it, I guess. Like, Wuthering Waves players in general pride themselves in being gamers, bragging how hard their game is, non-stop flexing their clears. Here's one of my viewers, Alinar, flexing his Wuthering Waves play. Then you'll get people like Rexcellent, who is showing off here that he can play without a UI because Wuthering Waves is so second nature to him. This game looks like shit? Well, no, that's the thing. This game looks really good, but when you play it, it feels like shit. Like, this game's animations are just too much. It's like you're watching an epic anime fight, and I just can't, like, when I press a button, I can't link it to what is happening on my screen. It feels like my rovers are disconnected from the spazzy, crazy shit they're doing constantly. It's just like too much sensory overload for my brain. Like, Wuthering Waves makes my brain invert. So honestly, I find it more fun just to watch this and just like, I'll take out my controller right now. I'll just have my controller unplugged, and I just like am pretending like I'm playing here. Like, damn, I'm so good, yo. You guys see that? Holy shit. Like, it's honestly just way funner to watch someone good at the game than playing myself and just dying repeatedly through no fault of my own. I just feel very lost and confused when playing Wuthering Waves, and I think that's pretty obvious if you watch my streams, but then I also just don't think I fit in well with the community, like, at all. Like, Wuthering Waves players come off as intense, toxic, hyper masculine gamer bros who constantly brag about how good they are at gaming.
$500. I will wager on the line. Every single one of you pussy bitches won't accept.
For example, here is Maddie Chu, who is a Woo player, showing off how good she is at the very masculine parry mechanic in some video game. And here she is, pressing the A button at the right time. Very impressive stuff. And I see this so much with the Wuthering Waves players. Like, they're always bragging about how they play the latest hot video games, how they're good at said video games, and they're just the real gamers in the community. They have a lot of pride in their gamer status. Like, I guess, for example, we saw the St. Tutus guy get mad at EO, that EO questioned him being good at ZZZ, right? Like, that made St. Tutus angry. He's like, how dare you question my gamer skills?
Here's what I would not have done in this moment.
He is hyper-analyzing, backseating my gameplay,
and you can listen from the comments that I'm saying in this video, this is the first time I have ever used lighter or Hugo. The stream that EO is taking this gameplay from, you can see it right here. I literally pull Hugo and lighter on the very same.
How's that an excuse if it's your first time using them and you can't be criticized? That's like being like, yeah, I know I gave you all food poisoning last night and nearly killed some of you with my negligence cooking, but the thing is, you have to consider, it was literally my first time trying that recipe out.
This is the type of content that we're going to do. We're basically just going to farm hate against my gameplay. Get your comments section to start talking shit about my lack of understanding of the game's mechanics and how the kit works, when I literally pulled the units on record. I pulled the units less than 2 hours.
Why would he pull the units and not know what they do? What is this guy? Is this guy an idiot? Why is this guy like my greatest ally? I need better allies for hating this video game. Like, actually, Sanctotus is like my mid laner because he makes the most amount of videos hating on this game. He's the most dedicated, so like the most I can do, I'm just a support here. Like, I can just gank his lane now and then, try to help him out on hating this video game. And the thing is, the moment I'm not ganking his lane, he's just instantly feeding EO, of all people, who, like, no offense, is like Herald rank. Like, I gotta be honest, I feel like we're witnessing an extremely rare, like 2% drop to Minecraft Emeralds level rare EOW. And that's just absolutely unacceptable. The Loser Zone Zero community should never feel like they're getting a W under any circumstance ever. But there was also another guy that also got mad because they had an argument on, so there was a big argument in the Wuthering Waves community on how good is Brandon as a rover, right? So a lot of people said Brandon's really bad. I think this guy said Brandon's really good. So then he just starts trash talking them and insulting their gamer skills majorly.
They have no idea how to play this game. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They're literally tourists in their own game. In fact, I challenge every single one of them. 500 bucks right now. We can race. See who can clear tower fastest on a fresh account. 500 bucks. I will wager on the line. Every single one of you pussy bitches won't accept it.
And I just don't like this, like, toxic gamer masculine culture in the Wuthering Waves community. It's personally not for me. And this is just how the Wuthering Waves community communicates. Look, what a giga chad. They like to display how good they are at video games, and when they have issues with each other, how they settle it is through trial of combat. It's too primal. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like, hasn't human society evolved past this by now? And yet everyone's just cheering this Neanderthal behavior on, like Giga Chad's in chat. And I'm just here thinking, like, why can't we just all get along? Who does this guy think he is? A pro champ in Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite's that's a children's game. Oh, here's his Twitch. Let's see what the about me says. I'm kind of hum, achievements of mine, world champion. Yeah, Pokemon Unite. Yeah, Pokemon is a children's game. Rank 1 Eternal Return. Yeah, literally less people care about this than me being rank 1 in Revy Starlight Relive. Like, no one cares. This is an irrelevant Korean MMO or Korean MOBA that nobody plays. Only 9 likes. More people care about me being rank 1 Revy Starlight. And I can prove it. Look, 28 likes. And honestly, this was the other thing I wanted to go over, how Wuthering Waves players like this guy, they think they're all so good at video games, but in reality, they really are not. They play the most low-skill, no-brain games. Like, playing a real-time game is just objectively easier than a strategy game. Like, full stop. A real-time game can never be as complicated as a strategy game. You're not impressive executing rotations. You're not impressive executing parries. You're not impressive for playing without a UI or whatever. Like, nobody cares about your 420 vision. Nobody cares about your reaction time. Nobody cares you're Asian. Like, what is impressive is rank 1 Revy Starlight. Let me just show you guys Revy Starlight Relive. And just tell me if you actually think Wuthering Waves is harder after you watch Revy Starlight Relight PvP. There's just no way. There's like a draft phase, you gotta like counter your opponent. There's over 500 stage girls in this game, so if you do like 500 permutations, that's like what? Over 1 billion combinations you have to prep for. And the thing with Revy Starlight PvP is, this is actually a crazy fact. with Revy Starlight PvP is there's never been a two-time rank 1 PvPer. I was rank 1 in January of 2021, but then other people were rank 1 other months, right? There's never been someone who was able to do two-time rank 1. It just takes such a toll on you to learn the game, to master it majorly, that once people hit rank 1, they're like, oh damn, never again. And then, okay, so I think we've gone over Wuthering Waves. I guess next is Honkai Star Rail, or as I would like to call it, Honkai Cope Rail, because if you're still saying this game is good in 2025, you're just coping in a major way. Ever since the banana patch, it's just been non-stop cope. So coping with the Penacony filler, and then coping with the Amsnita story. So the cope on the Amsnita story was like, oh, those who don't understand how good the story is, they're just brain dead and can't read. And the thing is when you say that, brain dead and can't read, you're kind of isolating like 90% of the gacha community. 90% of the gacha community is brain dead and can't read. And quite honestly, all these games should have, if it's a mainstream normie game for stories, is just brain dead plot lines and soy cutscenes. Any attempt at intricate plot line, any attempt at subtle themes, let alone character development, like any attempts at that, you're just kind of wasting everyone's time in a major way. They're just kind of gonna be thinking like, why are they yapping? What are they yapping about? Where's the cutscene? All anime mobile games that are for the normie mainstream audience should just be cutscenes, and they don't have to make sense. What you're going for is just soyness. ZZZ 1.4 story is a good example. I think this is the right one, the one with the Miyabi. Because this is by far the worst ZZZ story, but it's everyone's favorite because it has the most cutscenes. They're like, whoa, so much cutscenes, and you see absolute cinema. This story changed my life. So you just want to generate soy. ZZZ, soy reaction. Like ZZZ 1.4 is objectively the worst story in the game. It's not even close. Chapter 1 through 3 were alright. 4 was okay. Meanwhile, chapter 5 was just a very cringe Miyabi wink fest. Like, please pull Miyabi. She's such powerful proxy with the legendary magic sword. And enjoy the shitty new metal music as the end credits roll. That was about it. Terrible patch for a terrible game. Terrible story for terrible people. And they ate it up. They're like, this is the best update ever. And what I'm saying is this is a good thing. I'm not like, okay, it sounds like I'm like shitting on ZZZ because it's a habit. But no, I'm saying this is objectively what the anime mobile gaming community wants. And it's not what Honkai Gay Rail's delivering. And then Wuthering Waves, I don't know what their last story was, but maybe Wuthering Waves would be like, what? My game had more cutscenes than your game. The more cutscenes, the better the story, and that's how it is. You just describe why WoWall Story is good to WoWall players. Yeah, that is the reasoning I'll see online on like why WoWall Story is good, or ZZZ. It'll just be like, WoWall Story's so good. There's so many cutscenes. Like, do you think, be honest, Honkai Star Rail players, do you think a Wuthering Waves player or a ZZZ player, let alone, can comprehend the line, people wake up from their dreams? There's no chance. They just don't get it. If you told a ZZZ player, write an essay on people wake up from their dreams, they'd be like, what it means is, it means that people, when they're dreaming, they wake up. That would be it. That would be their essay. They wouldn't understand the philosophy behind the line. They wouldn't understand the significance at all. Where is this? Penacony story is the best one in Honkai Star Rail, just script-wise.
Why does life slumber?
And the thing is in this quest, if you're paying attention, he asks this question over and over again. He always asks, he asks Sparkle, why does life slumber? He asks Robin. He asks like every character, why does life slumber? And Sunday, he's never pleased with the answer. But then he just gets his mind blown here.
Because someday.
And look. Oh, it's so good.
We will wake up from our dreams.
And look, just, he fucking dies from poetry. It's like an ego death.
The night is still too short.
What was I on about? Oh yeah, I guess my point is Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Cope Rail. When you guys are saying like, actually, Amsnita's story's really good if you read it all. If you actually read, it's like no one's gonna read it all. No one cares about your stupid game. That's not an argument. You're coping. So you're coping with Penacony filler, you're coping telling people to read your stupid game story, and then I guess the final cope is the Fate Stay Night collab, which I kind of outlined in my video. Fate Stay Night is gonna be like even more garbagely written than the main game, because Nasu's writing's even more autistic than whoever the fuck is writing Enforius. Like, Nasu's writing is just like the deranged thoughts of a mentally disabled ginger kid. Fate Zero was a good anime, because that was like following Kritsugu, who's like a badass gamer edgelord with a gun. And the way he talked with Saber is how a Giga Chad talks to her. He would be like, Saber, go do this, go do that. In fact, I remember there's a scene in the visual novel where Saber says, Kritsugu only ever talked with me 3 times. That's what you do. That's how Giga Chads treat you to treat women, is you only talk to them for directions, ordering. Meanwhile, in Fate Stay Night, we got Soy Boy, mentally challenged ginger kid, just soying out about Saber nonstop. He's like, Saber's a girl, I gotta protect her. Saber can't fight, I love Saber, just nonstop, just soying the fuck out. And then there's like scenes in Fate Stay Night where he's just like struggling with like a trigonometry exam. It's like first person, so it'll just be like my math textbook lies before me. The equation, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, glaring at me, taunting me. Saber sits across the table, her beautiful eyes fixed on me, radiating judgment. Idiot. Her eyes scream at me. To fuck Saber, I need to learn trigonometry. Tosaka, I don't get it. All these A, B, C, all these letters, they're a jumble, Tosaka. Tosaka comes to me. Shiro, how are you still struggling with basis trigonometry? You've been held back for the past 3 years. You work at the high school as a janitor, and you're still in high school because you failed trig. I mean, this is literally the novel. This is a scene, and then some other things happen. I'm trying to remember. We'll just skip to eventually he takes the trigonometry exam, and it just goes like, the classroom hums with the scratch of pencils, but I'm drowning in triangles. Triangles, 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 drowning. You click it, goes to the next page. Drowning, triangles, drowning, and drowning in triangles. All I see on my exam are just triangles everywhere. A squared plus b squared equals c squared still taunts me. I cannot defeat it. My brain is a frayed wire, sparking, shorting out. Sakura is seated a row from me and she glances at my paper during a break. Her soft gasp turns into a mocking giggle. Senpai, did you just add 3 plus 4 to get 7? I think I was still ranting about Honkai Star Rail, and then for some reason I started shitting on ZZZ. Shitting on ZZZ is like a natural state for me. I go on any rant about anime mobile gaming, and it just all leads back to how ZZZ is such a terrible game. It is like the root cause. I don't just hate ZZZ as an anime mobile game, I hate it as a concept. I hate it in a very abstract way. Like Wuthering Waves, it's just not for me, I don't think, as I explained previously. ZZZ is just a vitriol hatred. Like, the world would be a better place if this didn't exist. Actually, the only good thing about ZZZ is that 100% someone got bullied for playing it in public. That's the only thing I can say about it. That is a game that if you're playing in public, you 100% will get bullied, because it is the most loser-encoded game in gacha gaming. And you would think a lot of gacha games are kind of loser-coded, but ZZZ just takes it to a next level. Everything about the game is just loser-coded majorly, whether it be the cringe dialogue using like zoomer references, whether it be the big boob straight cell pandering proxies. It just has a big kick me on it, ZZZ. It's like, please make fun of me. I don't even think I really answered the original question, because like the original rant, the original thing that sparked this rant was the comment saying I have to choose a team, right? And now that I've gone through the 3 main gacha games, I was expecting I would come with a conclusion on which team I'm joining, but I've kind of come out none the wiser. You might say, Eango, why didn't you mention Genshin Impact? Isn't that also a mainstream normie gacha game? And no, not really. Like, there's no reason you should be playing Genshin Impact in 2025. If you like Genshin Impact, just play Wuthering Waves. The only people that still play Genshin Impact are those people who've just not moved on. Wuthering Waves is literally the same game. It's literally the same thing, just slightly better. So Genshin Impact is really just the Pokemon of gacha games, in that it's gathered enough of a retard adult audience that don't know that anything better is out there yet. So they just stick with Genshin Impact because they don't really know any better. So I don't even consider Genshin Impact to be like one of the 3 mainstream games, even if it does have a big audience, because it's not an audience it has. The people that play Genshin Impact don't like Genshin Impact. They're just lost. They just don't know that there's other games they could be playing instead. They just don't know where they are, quite honestly. So